Why use webinars in your marketing strategy? Why should you use webinars as part of your marketing strategy? Well, there are a number of reasons. Over the last few years, webinars have gone mainstream, and people are familiar with them a lot more than they used to be. People know that if they attend a webinar, they will receive some value, and there is likely to be a pitch at the end. This is good for you. When people attend your webinars, they are very likely to have this expectation. It will not be a shock to them when you make a pitch for one of your products or services at the end. Deliver value with webinars. All of your webinars must provide value to your attendees. This is the main reason that people will attend. They have a problem in your niche, and they believe that the webinar will solve that problem for them. A high-value webinar can keep an audience engaged for a long time. It is not uncommon for webinars to last between 1 and 2 hours. No other marketing tool has the power to do this. Videos are not interactive like webinars, so they will not have the same impact, and people are likely to stop watching them after a few minutes. Attendees know that they will be able to participate. The main way of doing this is to ask you questions and get the answers in real time. You are able to ask your audience questions as well, and you can ask them to participate regularly in micro-actions, such as polls, quizzes, and so on. When you get your audience to perform microtransactions throughout the webinar, you are warming them up to taking the final action that you want, purchasing your product or service. Not all webinars have sales pitches at the end of them. Some businesses use webinars to just provide value by explaining how to solve a problem and how using their products and services make things a lot easier. This increases brand awareness and trust, which will make the attendees more likely to become customers in the future. Expert status. If you are running a webinar, then your audience will perceive you as an expert. Even if some of the attendees have never heard of you before, they will assume that you are an expert in your niche because you are running the webinar. Being perceived as an expert is exactly what you want. People trust experts and are much more likely to buy from them. It takes effort for attendees to register for a webinar, and they have to spend their precious time attending. They wouldn't do this if they didn't believe that they are going to learn something valuable from you. No hard sell. If you set up and run your webinar in the right way, then you will not require a hard sell for your products or services. We will cover this later on in this training. You will be able to present your offer to your audience, and some of them will just go for it because you have impressed them so much throughout the webinar. Your webinar needs to discuss a problem that your audience is having and provide a solution. It needs to deliver value and overcome any objections. You need to persuade the attendees that they have a specific want and your product or service is that want. By the time you come around to the pitch, your audience will be ready to buy without a hard sell. A large global audience. One of the really great things about webinars is that you can provide your presentation to hundreds, possibly thousands of attendees from all over the world. You can sit at home controlling everything. It doesn't get much better than that. Okay, it is not as effective as a one-to-one meeting with a prospect, but it is the next best thing. Your audience wants to hear what you have to say and how you will solve their problems. They are a captive audience. Can you imagine the logistics and the cost of gathering hundreds of people from around the world to a physical venue? Webinars have high engagement levels. Live webinars are special because your attendees know if they show up late, they are going to miss a part of your presentation. If you don't plan to provide a replay, or at least announce that you are going to do this, then they will miss out on everything if they do not attend. This is why people from around the world are willing to attend a webinar in the middle of the night. They will do this because they want the information that you are going to share. It is one of the best scarcity tactics available. Show up or miss out and stay until the end, or you may miss something important. The other reason that webinars offer high levels of engagement is because they are interactive. People know that they will have the chance to participate and ask questions. You want to encourage attendees to ask questions as this increases their interest in what you are discussing. Generate leads with webinars. Every business wants to make sales, but they also know the importance of generating leads. No matter how good your webinar is, you are not going to sell your product or service to all of the attendees. When a person registers for a webinar event, you will obtain their contact details, their name and email address. This enables you to follow up with them after the webinar through email marketing. You know that they are interested in your niche and solving a specific problem, so you can use this to your advantage. Invite guest presenters and leverage their audience. Do you know who the influencers are in your niche? If you don't, then you need to find out and invite them to be a special guest on your webinars. Not only is this a great way to encourage people to attend your webinar, it also gives you access to the audience of your special guest. The special guest that you invite is highly likely to have a large following either on social media or through an email list or possibly both. Ask them to tell their audience about the webinar and you will be able to reach people that you never could before. Faster sales process. Webinars offer a really fast way to convert leads into sales. With a well-presented webinar, you will provide your audience with all the steps of your sales funnel in one go. Your audience will get to know you fast, like what you have to say, and trust you. This is essential for converting attendees into customers. Nothing else compares to webinars when it comes to providing the fastest return on investment, ROI. If you sell a product using a website and a sales page, you are unlikely to make a lot of sales with first-time visitors. With webinars, you can do this. Attract super affiliates. If you have an affiliate program for your products and services, then webinars provide a great way to attract the best affiliates out there. These guys have very big email lists and can fill up your webinar without you having to do any additional marketing. Super affiliates will be interested if your webinar has a high conversion rate. So you need to keep statistics about this. Show these people those persuasive metrics and they will promote your webinar in a heartbeat. In the next video, we will discuss how to plan for a high converting webinar.